Okay, so this one is building upon 7.1 and 7.2. This one is figuring out daily balance method. So what we're doing here is we're taking the sum of all balances, dividing by the number of days to get our average daily balance. What you did in the previous cycle was the monthly, so or month end, the end of the month. So example 1, Santana.
Yes, sir. Alright. Sarah Warren has a charge account with a company that computes the finance charge using the average daily balance. New purchases included sheet checks to be sure the average daily balance is correct. See figure 7.3 on page 292 for part of her statement. And that's the end of it.
Okay. So essentially these are using statements, and we're having to work off the statements to solve these. Okay? So example 1, when you go to 292, that is the actual statement. This information right here. So what we're focused on is the days. We add up all these days. Okay? If you ever get anything that's over 31, you know you made a mistake. Okay? Because there's not more than 31 days in a month. This one happens to be 31 days, okay? So, then we go to the balance. So you see the balance right there? That's the total of all this. Now let me explain what this sum of balances means. That means from 12/1 to 12/9, it was 11/32/20, right? And then on 12/10, they made a purchase that increased the balance. So it increased it on a daily amount of 151.65. So notice that 125 at the top. It's 125.80, that was per day times 9 days, okay? So it got that total. Then the next day, anytime there's a change, it'll change the balance by that 1 day. So you see the purchase of 25.85 and it's multiplied by 1 after adding it to the 151.65?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're 1 day and then you start counting the days till there's another transaction. So we go down from there, and from 12/11 to 12/19, there were another 9 days that new balance of 151.65. So we multiply that by 9. So once we get the balances per day, we get to the total. So the total in this case was 3628.50, and then we divide it by 31. Okay? So that's the first example, and we actually have 3 examples in this problem. So we take the total of the balances that we figured out by the number of days, we divide it by the total number of days, and this would be their average daily balance. Now obviously we got to round that because it's money, so it's $117.05. Is there any detail on 2? There's nothing really to read on 2 because notice 1 through 6 basically is a statement, okay? So you getting through 1 through 7 is the same thing that's up here under step 1, okay? This one's exactly the same. So, let's see what information is that. Oh, I think example 2 goes on to the actual next problem. Example number 2 refers to figure 7.3. So look at the top of the page right there. So this statement right here, it's actually telling us what the balance is. It's telling us the 117.05, which was actually from example 1. So we have to figure out what the rate is now. So average daily balance is, it takes the average, the amount it was averaged over the month, what the balance was, now times the rate, okay? So this one, 17.05, we take this and multiply it by 2%, we get $2.34. So this is the interest. Everything else is the same of what you've done so far, okay? So you have a previous balance, it tells you that on the statement right here, previous balance. So you take the previous balance minus any payments and credits. The payments and credits are on there. There are 70 right here, payments and credits. So we subtract it. subtract this, the 125.80 balance from the payment. And the reason why we do this, they made a payment here, this isn't subject to interest, right? Because why would you charge interest on paying your bill down? So 70, we get to the 580, they had new purchases, that's on here as well. That's this right here. They only had one new purchase, so 2585. We do the same thing that we did in 7.1 and 7.2. We take the unpaid balance, we take the rate that we just figured out, and we take the new purchases and we add it together. Notice step 4 is exactly the same thing that you're doing. The only thing that's different here is you're taking the total amount of the balances multiplied by the days to figure this out. Then you're dividing it by how many days are in a month, getting your average daily balance. Once you have the average daily balance, now you're figuring out the interest, okay? The previous one was over the entire month. This one is on a daily basis. Example 3, there's nothing really new in this one. It told us that the amount was $29.80 was the interest. We don't know the amount, but we know that the interest is 2.3%. You guys got this part, but this part was, or actually, you got this one, you struggled with what the interest was. It doesn't matter, if either number's missing, we're solving it exactly the same way. So, in this case, we take the 0.023%, we divide it by the 29, and this tells us what the balance was, 1260.80. Okay, any questions on this? Let's go through the statement and work through it together. Look at number 1. We're going to count the days, which it tells us, but I want to tell you how to count the days. So, 9. Watch this. We don't count the 9, okay? Or excuse me. We count 9 to 10, right? Because it's a full day. So, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. How many days is that?
5 days.
7. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 7 days. Okay? Their end of day balance is 500. So you're going to take 500 times 7. That's going to give you the sum of the balance for those 7 days. Okay? Then on 9/16, they make a purchase. So their balance goes up $100, right? Anytime you have a change in an account, it goes to 1 day. So now that $500, because they made a purchase of $100, goes up to $600. So we're going to multiply that by 1. So A is going to be 600. Now, look at what happens here. 9/17 to 21. Okay? It's telling us the answers, but we count the days. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. It's 5 days. So $600 is going to go right there, times 5. You're going to get the total. Keep going. You keep going until you get to the end of the statement. Okay? Then you add A through C, that whole column, the sum of balances, and put it in column B. And then you add up the total amount of the days and the number of days and put it at B, divide them, and that's going to give you your answer. Okay? So, what's different is you have to construct the days of what the balances were. Make sense? So, understand the actual balance is going to be a lot higher because we're figuring out what that daily balance is. Okay? So, work on this one. Let me, what did I give you through anyway? I gave you through 12, but really, getting through 7 is what's important. Okay? Are you good? Okay, so go ahead and get started on that one, and then let me check that one by the end of the period, so I know that you guys are good on it. Okay? Miracles happen.
Don't we always?